still with our belt grinder build until I get some parts in. So we're gonna do some foraging tonight. It's just a bullshit night. That's all we're having. The boy's gonna come out and do some grinding on a knife he's working on. Shit, it's looking better than anything I've made. And figure I'd load the sawdust burner up that's turned into the all-purpose burner. This stuff is from outside, so definitely not dry. But I have found that this damn thing will burn anything I put in it. Anything, evidence, whatever, you know. So, get this loaded up. Get it fired up. Now, loading it up with these blocks of pine, you would think it would burn out of control, but she really doesn't. It actually, if I choke the air just about all the way off, perfect. And I can get about 6 hours out of it. That's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I just kind of leave that center hole open just before you load the sawdust. And she burns like a champ. It's just crazy the shit I feed into this. And she just stays going and going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny. And the other crazy thing is that the wood doesn't cave into it. The sawdust doesn't cave into it. It just kind of stays in place and burns. And yes, I load it right up to the gills. The better I load it, the longer fire I get. So, the Boy Scout's secret weapon here. I'm not going to show you bastards. You guys will steal my secrets. Alright, I guess I could show you. Just some charcoal fluid. I know you're thinking, my God, that is unsafe as hell. But it's not like it explodes like gasohol, you know? Alright, let's get this bitch running. Tell you, wind is whipping tonight. It is nasty out. Must be we have some colder weather or something coming in. I gotta figure out a way to light this from underneath. I think I need to cut a bigger door in it so I can get a torch or something up inside. It'd be a lot safer. Good enough. Watch those colors good. Keep your light on it.
Down there, it's getting in a little bit.
What's that?
Down that way, it's getting in a little bit.
Yep. So we're finally gearing up to start making tools to put on the market. And I'll tell you what, I think it might be a good idea for me, because I'm taking 5/8 thick 1080 steel, cutting it into 1" by 12" long billets, and then I'm pounding it. Then I'm pounding it into a wider, longer billet. Now let's see where we're at on this one. Still hot. And I'm not even close. She's still, well, some spots still a good 3/8 inch thick. Yeah, 3/8 there. We started out at 1 inch, we're 1.5 inches, 1 3/4. Let's see what we have for length. We're out just over 16 inches. Obviously we have plenty of work left to do on this, but I think what might behoove me, because if I want to make any money doing this, I probably better get my time down quite a bit. So the grinder is going to help a lot, because that's usually what takes me about the longest, is working on the grinder. And there would be another grinder video out tonight, except I am waiting on parts now, and I won't be able to get the motor for a few weeks, which really sucks, because I'm itching horrible to get that thing together and get it operating. So we're going to be getting an inverter safe motor. So an inverter safe motor has a different insulation on the motor windings, because you have more voltage spikes when you're running on an inverter, so it's something you have to be aware of. But anyway, we're going to be starting to make our draw knives. It's really going to be the first tools on there. As I make them, I'll list them up for sale. It'll be first come, first serve. I've had so many people that want the first ones. It's like I said, it'll be first come, first serve, because I don't want to favor anybody over somebody else, you know what I mean? I'm just going to make it the way I make it, and if somebody feels like picking it up, they can. We'll start one at a time and see where it goes from there. But probably what I'll do to make things a little easier, I've been pricing out 01 tool steel, and it's actually very affordable. I can get the I can get the flat stock pretty inexpensively. Definitely be worth my while. So we'll probably start ordering some of that in. We'll see. We'll just see. For now, we'll work with the 1080. We'll work with what we have. 1080 is a wonderful steel. It's very forgiving in the heat treat, things like that. That first one that I put all that time into, let me dig it off the floor here. I put all this time into this thing. This started out as a piece of 5/8 inch wide, and we pounded it out quite a bit. I did this last night. I overheated the damn steel. I have a crack right there. So part of this, at least from here on, will go into the scrap bin. We can do something else, maybe a knife or something goofy with the rest of it. So it's never really a waste, but it's definitely not. I don't plan on selling knives unless I get super good at making them. But there's so many people out there making and selling knives, market's pretty flooded right now. But so if you guys are wondering how fast you can move steel, even with this behemoth, this guy right here, I probably have 1.5 hours into pounding on this thing tonight. There's a lot of time lapse. Time lapse always makes everything look so fast, so cool, but definitely was not fast. And this hammer here from B&B Forge, this thing is great. I love this thing. He did a damn fine job. Just a nice rounding hammer. It's ground fairly flat on one side, nice and round on the other. This works nice. This moves steel real well. Now, it's funny when you're going from swinging this thing's almost 8 pounds just the head. And I could swing it pretty well, you know. I choke up on the handle and actually swing it real well. It moves metal real fast. Probably what I should do is round these over just a little bit more, and it'd move metal a little bit better. But for what it is, it works quite well. I'm very happy with it. And that was just, if you guys are new to the channel, we did some videos on this last year. This is just a 8-pound sledge that I took and turned it into a big diagonal peen hammer, and I screwed up and made these opposites. So when I flip it over, they're on the same side. That wasn't very bright, but you live and you learn. We can make another one with a cheap sledgehammer just fine, but this works awesome. Believe it or not, this saves me a ton of time. Obviously down the road we want to build a forge press, things like that. You know, we'll slowly get tooled up as we go and go from there. But anyway, this is a bullshit night, pure bullshit night. We're just out here screwing around. My boy Wyatt was making his first ever knife, so he's grinding on it and trying that out, and kind of did a little tempering on it and heat treat the other night, and did some tempering tonight on it, and trying to show him how to do that. He ground it pretty thin, so it was started to heat real fast, but that was probably one that should have gone in the oven. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Really wasn't a lot of point to this, but yeah, it's hotter than hell in here. I can't believe I'm saying that in this barn. You guys were with me when it was 20 below zero and the wind's blowing and there was no walls on this thing, and I'm out here working, freezing my ass off. To go from that, it's probably about 80, 85 in here right now. It is nasty hot and the wind is whipping outside. But that sawdust burner going and that forge going, it just about drive you out of here. But also the other thing we have to do, and it probably won't happen until spring or summer, I'm going to make a natural vent hood for this thing, because this exhaust fan I made is just too damn loud. You can't think, you can't run the camera right, you got to edit it out real hard. It's way too loud. So, and most of you mentioned that before in previous videos. I dial the volume way down in editing when that thing's running. It makes all the other little blower motors we get going seem whisper quiet. But anyway, enough of my rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's just been a fun night goofing off, kind of show you guys what we're doing when we're not doing a video with a point. Just kind of a regular night when the camera's not running. So have a good one, everybody. I'll catch you on the next one.